Saturday.
We're doing it. We're live. I guess I need to get a laptop with a better fucking.
It's not in the budget till 2020.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do a little. There, is that better? Can you guys hear? Is the hearing okay?
Oh, okay. So we're live. Sorry. Oh, we're live. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Should I begin?
yeah, there's
Okay, everybody. Do you all want to say anything, or should I begin?
Yeah, have at it.
All right. Okay. Well, welcome everybody to Winter Solstice, also known as Yule. I'm really excited that Lunar Fair picked today to gather all of us. I'm saying Lunar Fair. The Lunar Chicks are, so generous to donate their beautiful space and their time and energy to make this community happen. I just am delighted. I'm Lunar Queene for those who are joining on social. I'm going to just call it social media.
Yes.
Those who are joining on social media. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the Yule, and then we're going to do a little ceremony to connect to the energies of the season. So we have people here. We have some people here, and then we have other people all over the United States, I hope. And I'm so happy because this is a time of celebration. There's a lot I can say about Yule. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to begin. I send my circle like a 19-page write-up on Yule, and I'm trying. Don't worry, I won't do that to you. I'm going to try to summarize a little bit about what it is. So there's a lot of different ideas about what Yule is. And there are some people who say that Yule actually wasn't on this day. So Yule is actually celebrated the first full moon after the new moon after the new year. That's what some people say. But what we do know and what we can say about Yule, whether we call it Yule or whether we call it solstice or some other Scandinavian names that it's known by, or Egyptian names or other places, we're honoring the sun. And that did happen. And that happened especially in cold places, because the sun, obviously the sun transforms us. And the sun gives us warmth. It gives us hope. And, on a very literal, practical level, when we were farming, the sun was really important to the crops that would grow. And so on these very cold nights, particularly in the north, the sun was very significant because we wanted to make sure that in the spring it would come back, that it would come back to us. So a lot of different pagan ways of approaching Yule. But one thing we can say is today is a day where we honor the sun. And there's a lot of deities associated with the sun. There's a lot of energy that the sun brings to us. And the sun is also associated with light and fire. And a lot of times when you see some of the Renaissance pictures in particular with the halos, that's a sun disk. That's a sun disk. And we have a lot of people here tonight, so we've only got the altar out a little bit, our Yule altar, but typically you would move clockwise because that's the direction that the sun goes. And what we also know is that we would, wherever we were, we would honor the sun in some way. So some people would leave gifts on the trees for the sun, or they would take a little wine, because in certain countries after Christianity came in, they weren't allowed to leave things on the trees. So they would take a little wine, because red is one of the colors of Yule, and it represents the blood, the life force, and the energy of birth and creation. So red with red, green. The evergreen was another significant symbol in Yule, because the evergreen is one of the few things that doesn't die, when the cold weather comes. And even if you were, so on the other hemisphere, in the southern hemisphere, this is summer solstice. But even, in other hemispheres, there's always a temple of the sun. There's always a solar aspect. And so even though we're lunar fair, we're honoring the sun tonight because it is so very important to the moon, because the moon reflects the rays of the sun. And so we are in this dark, dark night, the darkest night on the northern hemisphere, wanting the sun to come back. And so a Yule altar, typically or even a tree, because we sometimes in some traditions you would bring the evergreen inside to represent eternal life, but everybody would move clockwise around the tree or clockwise around the altar to represent the sun. Follow me, follow me, come in from the east and keep growing and growing. So that's part of the significance of today. So this is a serious season. I'm going to be serious again. I think this is the third ritual in a row or ceremony where I was serious, but I'll get to this. I'm going to be married for 2 more minutes. I'm going to be serious. So the other part about the sun is that even though there's this whole season, everything slows down. But before we go into this period, which is associated with death and life, before we go into this season, we honor the sun just to make sure we've got that hope. And it's like we touched the sun today so that it ignites within us. And so that every day we connect to the flame of our heart. It's almost like it's up to us this season to find the sun inside of ourselves, because it's kind of cold outside. It's not as cold as it often is, but it is pretty cold. So the idea of the sun goes across many different traditions and cultures. And the whole idea about sun is that we are the sun, and that we are meant to ignite the sun within ourselves. And this is where we start with a community. So many, 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 many traditions and cultures, on this dark night, we gather as a community. It's a night of gathering. And it's also a night of, so Christianity tried to come in and change the pagan holidays, and they didn't quite do it, right? So I always think of Lunar Fair with some of these deities, because so for a while, Christmas was very pagan, right? So they would have drinking, and it really wasn't a children's holiday at all. Let's just put it that way. They would have performances, and there would be somebody judging the performances who would be known as the Lord of Misrule. And the Lord of Misrule would, see who did the best show, and then the king and queen would bestow money. And a lot of these people were very broke. And so this is how they would earn their money. They would perform before the Lord of Misrule to get the prize of a little bit of money in whatever form that was. So, we have that aspect. And of course, Calvinism came in, and that changed. And then a whole bunch of stuff happened, and Santa Claus appeared. And Santa Claus is a lot like the deity Odin. And Odin has goats that ride his sleigh. And so, tonight people leave the cookies out for Santa. We leave a little food out for the goats. Why not? That's really where it comes from. And Odin also had a little partner who was a daemon. Oh, should I be saying all this? Well, I will. Daemon, in ancient times, it meant spirits. It meant spirits. And so this other deity would be riding alongside Odin, distributing punishment and gathering up those who had not done well. Now, do you want to say the word? Krampus! Krampus! She really wanted Krampus.
Lorraine said I could dress like Krampus.
And I was like, I don't know about bringing Krampus into the watchtowers, but we can talk about Krampus for a minute. So it was this aspect that Odin would give you, the gift of going to this good place, and Krampus would punish you according to your bad behavior, which is kind of like that idea of Santa, either giving you coal or giving you a gift, which is a little bit modified as to what, Krampus would do. Now, everybody thinks he's so lovable now. I see him everywhere. I don't know if he was that lovable. That's debatable. But that idea of, so that idea of duality of bestowing a gift or bestowing a punishment is also very connected to Saturn. And in some traditions, this is the season of Saturn. It's Capricorn energy coming in. And so Saturn is a deity that tells us about time, that teaches us about time. Now, Saturn can be a little bit of a bummer, right? Because sometimes Saturn, when we have maybe not had a productive year, or maybe there were things we want to do a little bit better and we didn't, that's where Saturn comes in to show us whatever lessons we learn. And sometimes it's a harsh lesson. In ancient times, everything was joy, because even a harsh lesson could be enjoyed. You could take joy in your growth and joy in whatever you experience, and know that there's always other opportunities, because we are like the evergreen. We're always able to learn and grow. So Saturn and deities associated with Saturn are a big thing at this time of year as well. It's about the sun, but it's also about time. And this is when, quite literally, in Samhain is our high holiday. Samhain, we celebrate the mystery of death. But now I'm going to be a bummer. I'm not going to be so happy or cheerful right now, because when we go into winter, we actually die. Right? We actually die, because if you look at the life forms, we look at everything going into hibernation. We're not seeing snow. We're seeing quite a bit of rain. But snow will blanket the earth, and under the snow, there's life waiting to be born. But it's a dying time. So in a way, the season that we're entering is a time for us to be quiet and still, and to contemplate whatever reflections we need about the previous part of the wheel, right? Because it's a broken wheel until we make it whole by going into this part of the wheel and really receiving whatever we're meant to receive as far as understandings. And understandings build character. So even when, what I liked about the ancients, they didn't really spiritually bypass things. So there was such thing as pain, and there was such thing as discomfort. And it wasn't about trying to smile your way through all of that. This is a time where people can get depressed. But what this season is here for us to do is to grow and evolve, and to reflect on all the times that we had. And so we're about to enter this very quiet, still time. And thanks to Lunar Fair, we gather tonight to celebrate before we go into the deep slumber or reflection of winter. And that's really what solstice is all about, or Yule. Although, some people will not be excited, I call it Yule. Some people say, no, that's January. Whatever you call it, we're celebrating the fire. We're celebrating the love and the energy of our hearts. So it's a perfect time for us to be gathered and to make merry and to have some fun. And before we do that, we want to guide you through a very brief ceremony. And this ceremony, it may make no sense to you. And, that's okay. Because what ceremony does, or ceremonial healing, it's a journey that uses symbology to awaken certain parts of you that may not make sense to you for 20 years or a year or tomorrow or in an hour or maybe right away. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Just receive it whatever way you're meant to. That's all. So thanks to I have my common here, and not everyone, we're missing a few, but they're going to help with this process of guiding you through this Yule ceremony. And so here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So could somebody unplug those lights? Don't worry, it's not for the whole night.
Do you want that off?
I think no, we like.
I like it.
I need a little bit. Of
Okay.
We welcome the great goddess, mother of us all, she who holds the magic of the moon and power of the night. Creator, destroyer, maiden, mother crone, mysterious and powerful. nurturing and loving. In all of her forms, we welcome her on the darkest night of Yule. O great goddess, we welcome you today in your virgin form, birthing the sun and releasing the light. We welcome you to come and turn the wheel from west to north and water to earth. We give thanks and praise and love to you, Mother. Hear our plea, and join us, so mote it be.
So mote it be. Welcome, goddess.
O great omnipotent Father, great horned God of the forest, we welcome you as Father, as brother, as friend, as son on this night of Yule. Please bless us with your gifts of sun of light, of all flowing rays of creation. Warm the earth with your joy and our hearts with your love. Without your presence, the circle is not complete. Hear our plea. Be with us and bless us with a new dawn of light. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Welcome, son.
We rejoice in the earth, deep in her slumber on this darkest night, blanketed by snow, hardened by ice. The holly king rolls on this dark place of the wheel, and through the dark days we are given the wisdom of the crown and the ability to go deep within. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
At Yule, Goddess turns the wheel, and in the darkness we prepare for the light. The mighty O King prepares for this battle, as the wheel of destiny is that he emerges victorious, restoring the strength of light to the throne. Just as trees lose their leaves, let us let go of what is no longer serving us for our highest good, and remain steadfast in the earth with the promise of new life in the spring. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
The son of the queen is born, emerging from the dark womb of the winter, bringing us hope and helping us to remember the joy of the child and the ability each of us has to create anew as children and as purity. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
And as each day grows brighter and the sun becomes stronger, we
remember the flames of our hearts
and
and the love that the sun brings us.
So mote it be.
So
So mote it be.
On this cold night, we fear not, we embrace the light.
We give our gifts of love to one another. We give abundance within and without. Birth is not the beginning, but a continuance of all that ever was. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
And now we take a journey. So relax. You can close your eyes if you wish. You don't have to, but it might be helpful because we're going to go through a visualization. Take a nice deep breath. Close your eyes. Bring your breath in through your nose and exhale whatever does not serve. Allow the light of the candles to connect with you as you breathe in the light and you exhale whatever does not serve. Breathing in and breathing out. Allow the light and hope of the sun to fill you as you breathe. Exhaling and releasing stagnation, apathy, whatever does not serve. And as you breathe in and breathe out, if a thought comes up, you can accept you have a thought and just breathe that out of your body too. Allow yourself to be still, like the winter. And as you do this, you fill with the light of hope of the sun. And once you have connected to the sun, you can send that energy anywhere in your body that has pain or discomfort. And you can just relax. And just be still. And as you breathe in and out, the sun is still present, but it is more so in your heart, like a flame. And you are peaceful, and you are still, and you are safe and protected, and your guides and guardians are with you. And now you can imagine that it is night. And you are walking through a windy and lonesome valley. You are alone. And you are also at peace. Moving through the valley. Hugging your coat to stay warm. Hugging your coat to protect you from the cold, the air that is created by the wind that is blowing through the valley. And as you walk through the valley, you come to a great mountain. This mountain is covered in snow. You are very cold. And yet you sense a small ray of warmth. This warmth is coming from above you. And you look up into the sky and you see the sliver of the moon above you. This moon is glowing in the night. And you decide that you're going to follow a path that goes up the mountain towards the warmth of the moon. And there is a little trail that leads up the mountain. It is very narrow and hard. But in spite of its challenges, you decide to climb. You take your first steps, and as you do, you hear a very faint melody. As you climb higher, the words of an ancient pagan song becomes clearer and clearer and clearer as you go up. You remember the words of the song. And you sing with the unseen voices. As you climb, your voices become one. And the moon glows with pleasure. The moon releases light and warmth. And you follow this trail as it becomes narrower and narrower. And you reach the top of the mountain. The song fades as you face the mountain. You see there is an opening, a cave. You are facing the mouth of a cave. You can only now hear the sound of a pure mountain stream flowing somewhere through the cave. You decide to follow the sound of the stream. You follow the sound of the water. You enter the cave. The cave is warmer, and you begin to remove some of the layers of your clothing. You remove your layers as you walk into the cave, and the cave becomes darker and darker, and the sound of the stream is the only thing that keeps you moving forward. You touch the walls of the cave. You touch them on each side because it is so narrow where you are walking. The walls are smooth and black like obsidian, comforting in their smooth and ancient energy. Just when you think the cave will end, the cave opens up. In the distance, the water is clearly heard, and you see the light of candles. You now see a beautiful queen on her throne, surrounded by red candles. Her robe is so light blue, it is almost white. The stream runs behind her, and around her is holly and mistletoe, and the scent of pine and cinnamon and sweetness. You look at her face, and you are awed by her youth and beauty. Yet, as you look into her eyes, you can see she is ancient, ancient in her wisdom. She is the Virgin Mother of the Sun, and you bow. You bow in her presence. And she welcomes you. And the sounds of bird and nature flow in her voice. She motions you to rise, and she knows why you have come. She presents you with whatever it is you've come up this mountain for. And so you receive a gift, a message, perhaps both. Receive whatever you are meant to receive from this ancient one. When it is complete, you place your hands on her heart. And you allow yourself to receive her ancient wisdom. And as you place your hands on her heart, she transforms into a burst of brilliant light. The light contained within this burst contains the light of all the stars. its brilliant, sparkling energy speaks in a voice that is neither male nor female. This being is a star, and the star speaks to you. We are eternal, you and I. We shall never die. Take the light and bring it with you. Share this gift of Yule and hold this joy within. Let it be a flame in your life and reflect and shine out into the world and your community. See that light shining now inside of you. And send that flame out wherever it is needed in this world, where there is suffering and war. Send the light of your flame wherever it is needed, at home or in faraway lands. Her message to you is complete. And you will complete this message by sharing your sun and flame with others. It's time for you to journey down the mountain. And it is warmer now. You quickly travel down the mountain, reaching the bottom, and night becomes day. The sun illuminates the snow, creating dazzling white light, reminding you of your blessings, reminding you to inspire and share with others. You return to the valley, and when you return to your body, you will share your joy with the world. Coming back whenever you are ready. Opening your eyes when you're ready. Stretching a little and moving around and maybe slowly preparing your, well, these lights aren't bad. We can put them on. You want me to put them on? Yeah, I think so. Welcoming you back. Merry Yule, happy solstice, everybody. It's time to celebrate. Have some fun. And there are gifts on the altar for you. There's mistletoe. And so the mistletoe is for, it's for a lot of different things. Lasting love. So, you know, if you kiss under the mistletoe, it's lasting love. But it's also for creating peace. They say if two people are fighting in the forest, if you lay a mistletoe down, they stop fighting. But don't lay it all the way down. Mistletoe is always meant to be hung. It's considered a sacred herb. It's never to be put on the ground. And so you can put the mistletoe also on your bed, or if you have child, you can hang the mistletoe to ensure protection in the night. So it brings peace, and it brings love, and it brings protection, and there's enough for everybody. So please, this is really a gift from Lunar Fair, and I helped a little, but this is really, if it weren't for Lunar Fair, you would not be receiving this beautiful gift. So enjoy and have some fun. And I want to just say one more thing, and then we'll close. I forgot to say, Mercury and the Sun are meeting tomorrow. So tomorrow is a not that today is not a good day, it's a great day today, but it's almost like this energy we start today, it's going to culminate tomorrow. Mercury and the Sun meet with each other, and that represents illumination of the mind. So if you're seeking an insight about something or solutions to things that have been hard, tomorrow's a really good day for that. So you can have some fun tonight, and tomorrow hold your mistletoe and do a little something. It doesn't cure hangovers, okay? But hold your mistletoe, and maybe receive whatever blessing you're meant to receive. Thank you all. Merry Yule.
Tomorrow is Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah.
And then also the darkness.
Cool.